North Dakota, it's not hard to get the wintertime blues in the winter. People try going on vacations or taking medications to overcome these blues. Well, for me, one of my favorite things to do is to take a glance at my aquarium. Now, an aquarium is relatively difficult to set up. However, when you know a few basic tricks to maintain it, it's really not that complicated. And I'm going to show you here how to take care of your aquarium. You're going to need a few things. You're going to want a basic net, scissors, and then some scrubbing materials. You can use a toothbrush, and then you're going to want a towel for any mess you may have. I like to use these 5-gallon buckets, and then a garbage to throw any of your waste away. And finally, you're going to want to have a siphon. Now, these are nice because they use gravity to take the water out of the tank. I like to do a water change every other week or so. Some people do it once a month. Just kind of depends how much stuff you have in your tank. I have a pretty heavily planted tank, so it generally takes a few more water changes than those who just have fish. So the first thing I like to do is make sure you turn off any filters or lights. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm not going to turn it off so you can see what I'm doing a little easier here. If you have algae growing on your glass, you want to go ahead and scrape that off. Use the toothbrush for finer stuff. I also use one of these scrubbers here. You can get this at a pet store. So any spots you see algae growing on the glass, just go ahead and scrape it off. The reason I like to do this before I take the water out is it gets that algae in the water and then you just suck it right out. So once you get all your glass cleaned off, then we can go ahead and get ready to take out some water. I like these 5-gallon buckets. They hold a lot. This is a 55-gallon tank, and you generally want to take about 25 to 50% of the water out. So a 55-gallon tank, it's about 25 gallons. I don't take that much out, usually maybe 15 to 20 gallons. And these are nice because they work with gravity. So if you're not afraid of a few germs, they're not too bad here. And then if you're going to take a lot of water out, you can have a couple buckets, or you can just keep reusing the same one. I'll just show you how it's done there. I'm not going to do the whole thing here. And it's always nice to have a towel if there's any spillage here. So say you take your water down 30% of the way. Then you have a lot of space to work with in the tank. This is when I like to cut and prune my plants. So you want to cut out any dead or dying ones, decaying ones, just anything that's not going to promote the growth of the rest of the plant. Let's see here. I see a few I can take out. And then it's nice to have a garbage can there. Throw it right in. Again, you want to have your towel. Then I use my net for anything that's on the surface or anything that's just out of place. Maybe you have a dead fish or something like that. And then when that's all done, you can go ahead and put in fresh water. Now if you're going to use tap water, you want to take any of the chlorine out. You can buy a solution that will help with that. It's pretty cheap, $5 to $10 for a bottle of it. Or in my case, I use reverse osmosis water, which automatically takes everything out. They say there's argon and all other sorts of dissolved minerals in tap water. And that'll also help cut down on algae growth if you use reverse osmosis water. So you can fill your tank back up, plug in your filter, turn your lights back on, and give it a day or so, and your tank should be looking pretty good. Like I said, I do this maybe every other week. If I'm out of town or if I'm really busy, it doesn't make a huge difference if I do it every third week or once a month even. And it really just depends on how much stuff you have going on. And finally, I like to add a little fertilizer. We just took out a lot of water, and in that water there's vital nutrients, so you want to replenish whatever you take out. And a little bit goes a long way. So the next time you're sitting in your house in January in the middle of winter, looking outside, feeling pretty dreary, blue, remember this video, and think about getting an aquarium. It's really a great investment. It's added a lot of light to my life. It's just one of those things you can sit at and look at all day and just get lost in it. So, thank you.